Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we're here to get our weekly world report. Now, your boy, 7 days delayed. All right, I'll be honest. All right, I'll be frank. But all right, come on, between me and you, what's really going on? What's really going on? There are a couple of small things that I guess kind of matter. Chris Brown and Usher going on tour. That's the thing. Chris Brown's also dropping an album called Brown. All right. Listen, Chris Brown has been kind of just coasting on this whole, it's funny, I almost used a wrestling term for a second. He has been a main proponent of the pop sound for a very long time, even like R&B pop, that whole kind of fusion. But his personality and who he is underneath all of the music, that kind of just stifles all of his career and all of his good credit. So I mean, you're not going to see him, like walk out and pull a Lauryn Hill at the Grammys, right? It's just not something that he can do with the kind of shit that he has in his baggage. With all that said, I mean, even if the album is something on the cusp of, like, I don't know, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, like Michael Jackson, and those are very tall, very high expectations. I don't know if Chris Brown's character can really carry the weight of that kind of album. But him and Usher are going on tour. A lot of people are unhappy with Usher, but I think all of you kind of forget that Usher was the manager for Justin Bieber, otherwise known as Mr. One Less Lonely Nigga. So Usher has a lot of interesting things in his baggage as well. I think they have a song about baggage, don't they? About packing their bag, something like that. I don't know. It'll come to me later. We should touch on this at least semi-briefly now that I'm here. Zeus is apparently allegedly being tossed around in the allegations of human trafficking. Maybe allegations, maybe allegations against the sexuals, maybe, I don't know. Hey, listen, all I'm gonna say is that one of those girls made a comment this season saying this is my first time eating in 5 seasons, and I think that's a little crazy. I don't know what's going on over there. Say is that all these allegations can't be from nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. They can't be. They physically can't be. Jocelyn is Jocelyn Hernandez, somebody that people have been theorizing is a PIAP for a while, right? I don't want to get demonetized. YouTube's pretty interesting with lesser known YouTube channels. She's been getting theorized for being that for a very, very long time, and it's only because of how that show operates and what that show is. It's insane. They travel from club to club, like location to location, and everyone just gets drunk. You never really see anybody eat, which is like, I never really thought about it, but then when you think about other like reality shows like that, people are always eating, right? Like the Reality Housewives, people, the Bad Girls Club, they always fight over people touching their food. Like there's food is always the kind of main part. Like Love and Hip Hop does like food scenes, but not Baddies or Jocelyn's Cabaret or any of those shows really are. That's TV is practically just an offshoot of Zeus. It's a whole thing. Listen, I will be honest though. Jocelyn said she had Israeli gangsters calling her phone. All I'm gonna say is that Limo Plumber's father does looks in a little location. It might be. Hey man, hey, it's one of those things in a secret society, all we actually trust. That is not surprising to me at all with just how that show is structured. Everything that goes into the performative nature of Zeus Network and Now That's TV, with its just over exaggerated violence, with its honestly, it's unfiltered nature. It's very unfiltered. Like people, they get hit to the point where they get knocked unconscious. They begin to have seizures and medical episodes. There'll be situations where the security is very purposefully lax, probably as instructed by the producers. I mean, there was an entire storyline on one of the latest seasons of Zeus Network, completely centered around just like oral sex. That was it. That the underline was the underline, but it was oral sex between 2 consenting adults, and that resulted in a fist fight that genuinely could have reshaped somebody's like a skeletal structure. I'm not even like it was gruesome, and they put these things on the front display not for anybody's enjoyment. Really, I don't think anybody's like genuinely entertained. I really do think it's like a psyop. It's like a thought experiment. They want people to either conform to this way of life, or they want us to absolutely break it down and form some kind of opinion from it, and quote unquote spread the word, right? Because even in me speaking about this, right, there's a very small percentage of somebody who's going to hear me describe this product and go watch it immediately. And in that in of itself, that is the problem. It has legs and it's running at a fucking Mach 7 speed, and it's man, if anything that is said about the Zeus Network is true, it is hopefully going to be investigated by the federal government in the next 10 years. But if it does have any ties to the isn't real country, then let's that case might not go anywhere. But again, this is all hypothetical. This is all alleged, right? Like Jocelyn Hernandez, I mean, she is pregnant, so there would be no reason for her to be on any hard, insane substances to cause any kind of insane kind of delusions. It's a very clear mind. This sounded like a very clear mind. Again, this isn't the first time somebody who has worked with Zeus and Lemel Plummer has discussed this. Also, aside from the very insane trafficking allegations, which is, hey, not surprised for that one. Apparently this fucking 5'4" nigga who weighs like 120 pounds is beating on women, which is like, what the fuck is going on there? There is so much crazy shit happening. And it not only with the Zeus Network, but just in the entertainment world, period. Like, there are just so many sick, disgusting fucking people in the entertainment world. There is an individual by the name of a D4VD. I don't care what his actual name is. He's going to rot, all right, in the 8th circle of hell for the rest of his fucking entire rest of his consciousness, all right? For as long as his consciousness floats, for as long as his consciousness floats in the ether, he will be like damned, all right, to the lowest circle, all right, of the underworld. And I mean that guy, man, you know what's interesting? Because when he got released, in my mind, I was like, okay, so is this like false identity? Like, what the because they had him for a while and then they just let him go. And I'm like, you don't let a guy like that with a case like that go. You don't do that, right? Like, there's no way you do some shit like that. Oy vey. And then they picked him back up and then everything came out. And I guess they released him just like the warrants and shit to clear. I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's insane that he even got released. And I don't want to, to put myself like in that fucking monster shoes. But normally people of that caliber, if they have the opportunity, they like get rid of evidence. I guess that's something that only Hollywood does or whatever, right? Maybe the evidence was already obtained. So many things happened in this case, man. He used multiple devices with a paper trail. And even in the disappearance, he had her in his custody, like at least an 8-year difference. The girl's name is Celeste, and she was like 14 years old. She was in his custody for like a year, meaning he met her way before she was even 14. It is a horrific. And I hope I don't have the stomach for it. I don't have stomach to even like really like get into like the depths of it. But sick guy, sick. Disgusting fucking the lowest realm, the lowest circle of the underworld. That's where he's going to go. And that's that. Yeah, they gotta put that nigga in a chair, man. I'm not sorry. That it's like, it's insane because there are situations like that. There are the allegations that Ye has with his essay, right? There's the shit that Dre did way back when, even present what Puff was doing to niggas, right? It's like the idea that money and influence just makes people turn an absolute blind eye. Because it's unfortunate, it's disgusting, right? But Boston Richie is just a version of David that didn't take a young girl's life. It's as simple as that. It's genuinely as simple as that. Boston Richie's ex got away and she was able to expose and tell her story, and that's how everyone knows about, hey, this nigga met me when I was 14. He met me when I was 14, and ever since then he's been on my back. That's fucking insane. This is a paid for, endorsed artist. It's insane, bro. From the fucking reality world to the this R&B rock section, whatever the fuck that weirdo D4 was trying to be on, all the way to like trap music. It's weirdos spread all throughout this bitch, and nobody takes it serious. Nobody actually accounts for how many niggas take up this space. Think about how many people endorse a nigga like Boston Richie getting with somebody younger. Like think about how many people listen to his music knowing the kind of person that he is, right? Think about how many people are still listening to D4. They are one in the exact same, all right? Two heads on a fucking mutated beast. It's exactly what we're dealing with, and there's nothing else less to it. People are focusing on Boston Richie getting pegged. Who gives a fuck? The person pegging him was a minor. Do we care about that? Do any of you fucking care? Does anyone care about it? Oh, oy vey. It's unfortunate. And I'll kind of try to make this a full circle for a moment. I did touch on Chris Brown. Chris Brown, not a great guy. Not a great guy at all. But to the level of what the fuck D4, Boston, like them niggas is like, that's different, bro. And again, Chris is not a great guy, but I feel like that level of success even if, God forbid, because I wouldn't want anyone's life to be lost in any manner, but God forbid something was to come out like that with somebody of Chris Brown's caliber, even like a Tank or some stupid shit like that, right? Anybody at that atmosphere, like things like that's just going to the radar. So I'm glad that D4 is going to spend either the rest of his mortal life in fucking like under the jails. The second they put him in the chair, that his soul is going to be trapped in the lowest dimension possible. Listen, whatever outcome is the outcome, justice will be served. And again, even if it's public justice, public by us, it will be done. Hey, if he walks free, somebody will take care of that. There's enough evidence, paper trails on Boston Richie. Somebody's family member is going to take care of that. It is what it is, and that's just the lay of the land. Man, I just wish for healing. I wish for healing, man. These are two really unfortunate, disgusting stories, and it starts with our communities. Like it starts with men. It starts with men. Period. Like there are a lot of niggas out there who just use their size, they use their magnitude as an artist, as an influencer, and they do all types of insane, disgusting shit. Lemmy Plumer, bro, has fucking how many girls and how many women on payroll? You're allegedly forcing these women to sleep with who? He's like 100 pounds soaking wet. Like, what are we talking about? Oh man, it's nasty. It's fucking nasty. Yeah. I guess. Listen, hey man, from one tree branch to another. Let's talk about Drake, the sixth god, the Iceman. Oh, what a fucking transition that was. We are discussing none other than Drizzy Drake. There's no other way to get to it. Iceman is coming. I was wrong. Hey, I could take that on the chin. It's fine. I didn't expect this album to release, especially with all of his issues with Universal, but it seems like they're pulling the trigger, or at least he's pulling the trigger. The possibility of this being his last official album before we might just get OVO sound like Ink Incorporated. I mean, listen, we're gonna be honest, right? That transition was a transition for a reason. Drake has been under fire for obvious allegations. Some that aren't really allegations, they're just kind of, statements in history. It's just kind of not to his benefit, but we'll leave that there. We'll leave that right there. Drake has been on the climb. He's been on the climb to trying to get back to relevancy, trying to get back to a place where, he is considered, again, one of the big three, right? Because it is really like, after Kendrick did what he did, there is no more big three. And that was, it was interesting at the time because, we all thought, oh, ha, no more big three, whatever, funny little jokey jokes. But Cole's entire personality changed after this battle. Big Sean hasn't stepped up as his, sub and role. There is no substitute after Big Sean, so that's that. And Drake has been on sabbatical. He's fake sabbatical because these albums and these projects, and like 100 gigs, nobody's gonna forget 100 gigs. 100 gigs happened. 100 gigs happened, and I think people should remember that. Even like the sexy, I was like, socky songs for you, the socky songs. Oh wow, the sexy songs for you. That album was at least like 30% decent, and that's party carrying. That's a couple of bars from Drake, but he doesn't sound inspired. He didn't sound like he wanted to make any love songs, and not to be that guy who's Drake's partner for him to be making love songs. It's not like when Megan was out here doing her thing. We'll get to Megan and Clay, trust me. But it's not like when Megan was out here, she was saying, hey, I got a man, and no one knew who her man was. She wasn't pulling a lotto. No, everyone knew who Megan's man was. So those statements kind of held a little bit more weight. When Drake says, I love my shorty, I love my wife down, my baby gets whatever she wants, Versace her to the ground. It's like, okay, but like who are you? You're talking about like multiple women. And then if I'm looking at like your, if I'm looking at your career highlights, you talking about somebody of the caliber like a Jordan Smith, somebody who may or may not be teetering on 19 to 20 years old as an almost 40-year-old man. Is that what we're doing? Georgia Smith, my apologies. Was that what we're doing, Drake? Hey, and I understand grown women, grown adults, right? But it gets to a point that you're a father. All right, and not for nothing, hey, Pusha T had some interesting lines about fatherhood. Listen, it all comes to fruition when you actually understand what Drake's motive is for this album, and I think it is just to be in the limelight. It's to be in the limelight, and if that means that we're gonna get at least like 3 heavily produced, Hail Mary, all fucking systems a go kind of songs, I think they're gonna sound good, and for the most part, Drake does have the social presence, again, through shit like a Kick stream, through his Steak streams, which I think he's still a part of. Him and that Steak beef was still a big part of his career that he has to kind of figure out. Like, there are multiple pieces of his career where he's not in the best limelight, but he's present, right? Like, there's an entire audience that watches Aiden Ross that probably thinks very positively of Drake, and I think things like that have to go into consideration. You have to think about the release. Theorizing on the exact numbers, I want to come back to this exactly. It is probably going to be most likely good 375. Good, and that's a liberal estimation. I'll even take in consideration maybe like first day streams and maybe the funky games that Universal might play just with an album of that caliber. Maybe a good 410, maybe a good 410, and that's just me. Yeah, a good 410. But that, again, that's just me being gracious. That's just me being considerate. I don't know. I'm not sure that somebody like Drake knows how to kind of hold on to the kind of heat that he has right now. I expect a lot of Kendrick backlash is gonna be on here. Backlash, my bad. But everyone's tired of hearing about this battle, but he hasn't really let it go, right? I mean, like, he dropped 100 gigs and there were multiple subtle shots, right? Even like the song net titles, Circadian Rhythm, like, why are we doing this, Aubrey? Like, who is this for? Is it for you? Is it for like your baby mama? Like, I don't know. And again, I think the best way he can approach this, I said it many moons ago, just fucking rap, and don't take this shit too seriously. Rap, just make this shit count, because nigga, this album counts. Listen, Sexy Songs for You was a cool little trial run for you to get your legs warm. All right, but if this shit don't hit off on all cylinders, like at least 1/4 of Fall Off, like the Fall Off did, because the Fall Off's not a bad album, but in the context of what J. Cole did after the release of it, it's like, yo, come on, y'all know I was never serious about that Kendrick shit. I'm just a nigga who like to play with words. Just like, all right, my nigga, like, you really fucked over my entire view of you, honestly, Jermaine. But if Aubrey keeps it at least $50, if he keeps it at least 50, man, I don't know, we might be okay. But I'm not sure, man. I'd like to know exactly what the album length is going to be. Pause. I think that's just important to, a digestion of an album. I think releasing a track list. But again, Drake is in that space where he had some serious allegations. All of his fan base kind of got in a bit of a fetal position, and said they're not fucking true. And then, when people pointed to the allegations and the proof, they're just like, shut the fuck up. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's not a really good defense. I don't know. I don't really know what we're going to get from this album. But again, it has to matter. It has to matter. There's no question about that. I said we would do it, and I won't be a man of my word. Megan Thee Stallion and Clay broke up. Now, I like to say that Kehlani broke up with Kyrie Irving, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. None of you niggas had nothing to say about that. Kyrie Irving, one of the best players of all time. The only fucking reason LeBron has that ring. And he doesn't get any acknowledgement when he broke up with a very world-renowned artist in Kehlani. Folded clothes. Kehlani threw that nigga Kyrie's clothes out the fucking window. All right, with his best Rookie of the World trophy. I'm not here to fuck around. I'm not. Clay, listen, he had a great career with Golden State and a phenomenal career with Golden State. I will not coddle this nigga. Megan Thee Stallion is up there. That's top 5 on the planet. That's not hyperbole. That's not a hypothetical. That's not me playing. Top 5, maybe top 3, personally for me. Oh man, you niggas are lost supply, and then you all get behind this nigga Clay doing it. Oh my god. Listen. From one player to another, all right, from one ball hog to another, you can easily rebound that. That's, nigga, she cooked for your family. You let her run to Instagram? Not even Instagram Live, nigga, the stories? Oh, Christ. We're losing recipes. We're losing the recipes. The recipes are gone. I done threw them out the fucking window. All right, along with that Carter 6 album. Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And again, why are you niggas getting behind him doing it? It's like, why ain't y'all trying to get him his queen back? Cleopatra has left the fucking castle. You niggas are out of your minds. Man. I don't know. And Clay got a lot of money. No, I'm not gonna comment on his looks because honestly, people have made some jokes, kind of funny. Not gonna say nothing. But I would like for some sense. I'd like for some sense to enter that nigga's skull. Because man, Megan a bad one, man. And she go both ways. You can lose her for life, nigga. Oh my god. Yo, imagine losing one of the best women on earth to a fucking stud. Oh Christ. I couldn't do it. I'd literally stop playing basketball that same day. I wonder what Clay's scores are gonna start being when Megan starts dating some insane, like Megan just gonna fucking luck up with a billionaire, some soccer player who makes 45 million a week, some stupid shit like that. And everyone's gonna be like, so nine, 1 rebound and 2 assists tonight, huh? I bet that's what you are putting up, Clay. I bet that is what you putting up, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on out here, y'all. Honestly, listen, I don't understand people supporting it, and I don't understand why he did it. But I mean, again, listen, if that's the situation, open relationship. But hey, if I'm in an open relationship, the only thing I'm gonna do is open up my jacket and get a gun in Minecraft. All right, I don't play that. We don't play that. No, not even a little bit. The Michael Jackson movie is getting very mixed reviews. A lot of people love it. A lot of people feel like I think the premise of the movie is, basically, Michael Jackson had to just get away from his dad. And I understand that being a real hot take in the community. Michael Jackson obviously had rivalry with his brothers. He had rivalries with his label. You know what? And here's my thing. I think a lot of people have a lot of back and forth takes about this, but hearing that Joe Jackson is the main antagonist, knowing Michael Jackson's gripes and the issues with the label, I don't like that. And the latter half of this story, they broke it into 2 halves. What a fucking bunch of cornballs. Listen, if you niggas want a real Michael Jackson movie, The Jackson 5, An American Dream. Look that shit up, watch it 6 times a day. You tell me you can tell me about a Michael Jackson movie. I mean that shit. That movie is phenomenal. Listen, the young actor looks so much like Michael Jackson. And it gets to a point you have to ask yourself, is this Mike? Honestly, like, am I watching Mike right now? It's great. It shows the trials and tribulations not only of Joe Jackson, but all of the Jackson brothers, even the Jackson sisters. Man, what a great fucking movie. Go to bed, Joseph. Go to bed. It was really good. Really good movie. And I haven't exactly caught this Michael film, but I mean, apparently it has an actual relative of Michael Jackson. Hey, I'm not going to say that that's kayfabe. I'm not going to throw that out there. What it is what it is. Okay, and if that's where everyone is saying, and if there's a bloodline, if there's a paper trail, I'm down for it. I don't really care that much. I'm excited to see the movie for myself. But again, if we're not going to see like Prince, like I want to see Prince in this movie. Like, and that's not me being weird. Prince is a main part of Michael Jackson's coming up in the industry. It is what it is, and so is the issues with Sony. His multiple conversations with not only Diana Ross, the fucking weirdo. Diana Ross is not a good person. But Quincy Jones. There's multiple conversations Michael Jackson had with so many famous, insane people, and reasonably, maybe I'm going a bit too far in the weeds here, but Michael Jackson was a superstar. So I don't know if we don't start getting into that. And again, even in that movie has to be like 5 hours long. I'm not joking. Michael Jackson is of that caliber. So who knows what we're gonna get. But what I do know for certain is that Michael Jackson, the movie, is being well received within the community. But they try to like review bomb it, but I don't really think that's gonna, come on, a review bomb, really? Like a review bomb on one of the most famous people of all time? Sure. I'll touch on this briefly because it's bleak and it makes me fucking depressed. Donald Trump and his his Supreme Court, they gutted the Civil Rights Act. And it's gonna go further. It's a very dark place, very dark time in America. And I will not forget those exit polls and who put us here as a country. Yeah, fuck MAGA and fuck Israel for life. That's everything. That's your boy Cappy had for his weekly world report. Got some things, all right, on my to-do list, so I'm gonna catch y'all later. But there's a lot of other stuff going up for the week, all right, not only from Dynamite all the way to Raw, SmackDown. I might even hit a little bit of NXT. Nice little treat for y'all, huh? So as I always say, all right, hope all of you stay good, stay healthy, stay hydrated. However you catch this, whenever you catch this, stay tuned, stay beautiful, and stay safe. Peace.